Is anyone? That's not. No.
Yeah.
It's just me, I think.
One person.
Hi. I'm just going to let a couple more people join me. Hi, Debbie. Let me just bring my phone a bit further forward. Oh, lol. I'm just trying to see if I can get a good. Can't quite see it properly, can we?
I can see it.
Yeah, but it's the nails. I've got to be able to see the nails. So people can see me working. No, that's worse, isn't it? That's worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just fiddling about to make sure that you can all see me. Is that better? Do it just a bit more, couldn't it? Okay, so tonight I'm going to do another ombre. But last time I did horizontal ombres, I'm going to do vertical ombres tonight. After I finished the other night, I just thought, oh, I should have shown you vertical ones. So I thought I'd pop on today and just show you. So just going to wait to see if anyone else wants to join me. If you want to put up any suggestions of colours you'd like me to see me do, that would be great. Anybody? Otherwise I'll just start picking random colours. Any colour suggestions? No? Okay, well I'll pick a couple of colours. Not to worry. Okie doke. So, I'll go with... Just going to look for some colours. Right. I'm just having a read through to see what I can find. Okay, got one. Purples, I can do purples, Anna. Okay. Right, let me start with purples then. Blue and yellow. I'll do that the next one then. I'll start with purples. So tonight I'm using Hazel Dixon's Clear with her monomer. Let's just show you the big bottle of monomer. Okay. Pink and orange. Okay. So I'm going to do purples first. Okay. So I've chosen Trilogy, Venetian Violet. Now let me turn it round. Venetian Violet and Magic Violet. Okay. Oh, purple and green. Sounds nice. Okay, so it's the same principle as the other night. Okay, we when I'm ombreing, I tend to work. I would put a clear base down first, which you can fold back down to. And if you're using strong colours, it stops the staining of the natural nail. And then I use my colours like paint, and then I encapsulate in clear. But I'm going to do verticals tonight. Okay, so it's the first time using this hand. I've got another hand on the way, so we'll see. Hang on, bear with me. Okay. So I'm picking my purple up just very thinly and use it quite wet, so it's like a paint. And what I tend to do, I do it with, when I do it with paint too, I work in layers. Hi Michelle. Yeah, so I tend to work in layers. So very thin, wet, and you can just keep adding little bits at a time. To get your blend that you want. And that'll avoid any chunky nails. I have a bit of a thing for chunky nails. I don't like them. You see, because I'm working wet, the blend, it seems to do it for you. There's not too much faffing, especially with colours that are very similar. So this is what I would call quite an easy one to do. You see, you could make it a little bit more prominent if you wanted. So I got picked up too much there. And I'm just using it like a paint. See? There we go. I'm just going to put a bit more dark here to create, oh, it's coming out. There we go. Okay, so that was quite an easy one to do because they're two similar colours. Yeah, Claire, I totally agree. Yeah, no, chunky nails is not good. Not good, it's not pretty at all. So if you're working super thin, especially with your coloured acrylics, because they're not your structure, your clear is your structure. So it just means if you haven't got your blend quite right, you can just keep going over with very tiny wet beads and it blends so much easier. No bulkiness. Right, so what was the other colours? Pink and orange. Let me just do a pink and orange. Just looking for an orange, bear with me a second. That one's got a bit of glitter in it, we'll use that one. And let me get a pink. Way too many products. Way too many products. I could do with one with a bit of glitter in it. Hang on, bear with me. So I've got CJP Hot Pink Sparkle, and I've got another CJP. Oh, it doesn't tell me what colour it is. How bizarre. It's an orange one. Oh, hang on. I think I've written over it. Coral something or other. Okay, they've both got a slight twinkle in them. Okay, so bye. Daughter just going out. So again, let me just remind people, I've got my monomer dish that's a candle holder, but it's got two. So I keep one for the colours and one for the clear. So your clears aren't murky. Okay. So again, imagine you've got your clear down first and small little beads, wet beads. Like that. And we do it in layers like I did the last one. And automatically you can see by doing it this way, it starts making the blend for you. Obviously other people might work differently and that's perfectly fine, but this is the way I prefer to do it. I've had a lot of trial and error and practicing and trying to get it right, and this is what I've come up with. See, I'm working with just very tiny wet beads. It gives you more control, stops the chunkiness. You just get, I think you get a nicer nail all round. Has anybody tried this before? And I do exactly the same when I'm using paint. I do exactly the same technique. Okay, I'm just going to do a tiny bit here. And I'd say that was pretty well blended. You can make it brighter if you want by adding a bit more. But I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to encapsulate my purple. Oh, I should have practiced with the hand first before I went live, but I'm always running around like headless chicken trying to get everything done. Okay. There's a hair there. Oh God, I must be molting. Okay. If your acrylic starts to dry a bit too quickly, put your brush back in your monomer, wet it up a little bit, and then carry on with your monomer, and it will wet it back up enough for you to continue to work with. Especially in this, you know, when it's hot. Okay. Right. Thank you. Yeah, it's a green gel polish that I'm wearing. I thought I was going into hospital today, so I didn't bother having much done to my nails, and they cancelled. So I didn't bother with my nails. Okay, so I'm going to do a blue and a yellow. Someone suggested blue and yellow, so I'll give that a go. That's quite greyy. Hang on. Oh, there we go. There's a no. That's a turquoisey colour. I can never make up my mind. Let's try these two. Okay. It's a trilogy one. I really must stop putting things on the lids because I can't see the names of them. Outer opal or something. Blue. And I've got a yellow one, lemon meringue. Okay. We'll see what these come out like. As you say, you don't really know until you try, do you? So I had one lady come and I had to do it with paint, but her children had asked her for orange, bright orange and teal, and I had to make them work. Interesting, but it looked okay. It reminded me of a rainbow trout when you mix the colours together down the middle. Just going to encapsulate this one. If you remember, you know, I say this every live, keep your work nice and neat, and in doing so you won't have to do much filing, so it means you can do your sets slightly quicker. It's less work, so I'm all about the less work. So okay, let's try this blue and yellow. See, just like a paint. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, just rub my wet brush down the middle a bit, just to, so there's no lines, because lines are quite hard to get rid of. Okay, yellow. Okay. See, just tiny little wet beads. Nice and thin, so you can build it up. Hey? I have found if you've got colours that are chalky, you know, some of the pastels can come out a bit chalky, it's a little harder to ombre with them. So you can always steer your customers away from those particular ones. So I was just listening to my daughter cry. yeah, so you can always steer your customers into, well, you know, away from difficult colours. Oh, my daughter's experiencing a little bit of online bullying. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. What does everybody else think? I think that looks quite good. See, nice and thin. What other colours did people suggest? Purple and green. Okay, I'll have a look, see if I can do a purple and green. Sometimes you've got to be a bit careful with purple and green because it can come out a little muddy if you're not careful. Okay, purple and green. Okay, so I've got Ariel from Trilogy and Magic Violet. If there's anybody that's got their own brands of anything and they want any of us on the admin team to do a review corner that Susan promotes, by all means contact us and we can do lives showing your products in use. Okie doke, let me just cut that one in the clear. Okay. I keep pulling the tips out. First time using one of these hands. There's a little bit of dry bit there, so I just stick my brush in a bit further with a bit more wet and get rid of it. How do you stop these tips from coming out? Does anybody know? As I say, it's my first time using it. Okay. Remember trying to keep your cuticle area nice and neat. There's nothing worse than a ragged cuticle area. It spoils the look completely. Okay, so let me go over to the purple and the green. I think that's too much. Get a smaller bit. If any of you have never tried this before and you try it, share the pictures so we can all see. It's all about helping one another. We like to see what you've tried. Again, I'm building up in layers. Little like Shrek, layers and their onions. Sorry, I just had a mad minute there. Don't know what made me think of that. You see, so you put it on the side, and then you go back over the middle bit of it again to avoid those lines. Then that gives you, it's coming out again, that gives you your nice blends. It's really quite simple, really. Let me just put a bit more down the bottom here. It's a bit wishy-washy. Okay, I'd say that was done. Put my lids on. What other colours do we have? Anybody else? Anything? Blue and yellow I've done. Purples I've done. Okay, I think I've done all the colours that have been suggested so far. Oh, maybe, Claire. Yeah, I've got nail guides in the drawer. I didn't think to use them. I'm just going to see if I can do a gold and silver one. You know, coming out of there. Which would look quite nice, I think. Okay. So I've got Trilogy, upside down, a Royal Affair, and I've got CJP Moonshine. So I'll give those a go. I'll just get another tip. Okay, let me just get some more tips. Oh, hang on, I can't get the tub open. Oh, that's it. There we go. Let me take my little one out. Okay, let's get another one. I tend to, when I use tips, I think I've said before, I tend to buff them first. It stops things. I could have a go at black and white. I could stop, it stops the acrylic sliding off. I found that out the hard way. Michelle Edwards. What did Michelle say? I've missed that. Okay, let's put that one in. Okay, just going to put a clear over my purple and green. You know, so what would also look really good is if you've done your ombre in your acrylic, you've top coated, you've capped, you've top filed and top coated, and then put a mermaid glitter chrome over the top or something. It's really, really effective. And your customers are going to go, wow. And actually it's a pretty simple thing to do, but it just looks really, really effective. Okay, that's that one done. Falling out again. Right, gold and silver. I should imagine black and white's quite hard to do. No, I don't think I've seen black and white. I can give it a go, but it'll probably be a bit of a mess, but we'll try it if you want. I'll try it if you want me to. It's just white. It's just so pigmented, isn't it? I just wanted to do different colours this time round to the other sets that I did. Just so there's more variation for people to look at. You don't want to keep watching the same thing. Okay. So, still working really thin. If you're going to use loose glitter to do something like this, I would mix it up with just a little bit of clear beforehand, because it will be easier to create an ombre this way doing that. Normally I just pick up a clear bead and stick it in my glitters, but I think this way, doing it this way, can be a little bit tricky. So just mix up a little bit. So that's pretty. Still working really nice and thin. I think I could do with just a tad more there. And obviously if you're working thin, you don't end up with your bulky now, which means you're using less product and less waste. At the end of the day, we all... Oh, thanks, Joe. You know, none of us want to waste our products or our money. You know, because everything costs, doesn't it? So if you can save money, all's the better. Just going to cap it. Oh, coming out again. I'm going to use the nail guards next time, Claire. Yeah, so that looks quite pretty. Quite happy with that one. I can attempt the black and white. I'm not sure it's going to work, mind you, but we can have a go. I'm just going to... Is that the right size? No. Just going to get a tip. Yep. Is that the right one? Sort of, yeah. That'll do. Okay, let me take that one out. Put this in. Okay, let me look black and white. I wonder what that white is. I'm just going to check to see what this white is. Oh, that's pretty. Not bad. It's a bit clear, really. I don't know what to put it on. Have a look. Clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's no good then. Hang on, it looks white in the pot but comes out clear. Hang on a minute.
They tricked you, Mum. They tricked you, Mummy.
Yeah. I think what I might do to make it easier.
Mix.
Hi, Kay. Did everybody... Oh, look, that's nice. Did everybody like your nails today, love? Oh, yeah. That's right. I'll use that one. Okay, so I'm going to be using... I'm not using the white that I would use for a French or anything. I'm using it's EF. I'll keep showing you upside down. EF, and it's called Snow.
Snow.
And I'm using a Trilogy, and it's a black pearl because it's got a slight glitter in it, and it's not as opaque.
That is glitter. That is kind of glitter.
I think the more opaque your glitters, your acrylics are, the harder it is. So let me just give this a try. Wish me luck. Never done it with these colours before. If you've only got opaque colours in your kit, mix them up with just a tiny bit of, a little bit of it mixed with a little bit of clear, and it will take some of the opaque away. I've done that before. It just makes the blending easier. Actually, it's not a bad combination, this one. Quite like it.
Do my names.
Still working nice and thin. Small beads, nice and wet. Because if you make a little bodge, which can happen to any one of us, it's easier rectified to disguise it if it's nice and thin than if you've got a nice big chunky bit. Sometimes I sit here for hours just playing, seeing what works and what doesn't. Okay. Quite nice. See, look, it's almost transparent when I separate it, but it creates what I'm looking for. So it looks like I'm putting on a lot, but because it's so thin, it's only very small amounts. Doesn't look bad, does it? Come out better than I was hoping. See, you don't know until you try. You might surprise yourself. Okay, I would say that's pretty much done. So yeah, so has anyone got any questions for me regarding the vertical ombres? Just going to cap that. Anybody? And when you're capping, remember, don't drag your clear. You warp at it and walk it down the nail. Because if you drag it, you're gonna mess up your ombre. And remembering, you're supposed to be creating your structure with your top clear coat. Brush, this is Alexa's brush. It's I'd say it's like a 12, 14 maybe. Okay, so that's that done. Anything else from anybody? Remembering always to wash your brush out in your monomer and shape it back on your kitchen towel or whatever it is that you use before putting your lid on, and store it upside down. So yeah, so that's pretty much it tonight. I'm going to come back on Monday and do another live, and it's going to be jelly nails. And probably I think it's about 3 different ways of doing jelly nails. So I'm going to give that a shot and show everybody. So yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like I did last time. I shall top coat these and put a picture up on the page, on the group rather. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll see you all on Monday. Night.